Let's begin with some breaking news coming in at this point in time, and this is the latest that we are getting for you from Tamil Nadu. A BJP functionary has been brutally hacked to death by an unknown gang in Dindigul district of Tamil Nadu. The deceased has been identified as 39-year-old Balakrishnan, and sources say when Balakrishnan was hanging out with his friends around 6 p.m. yesterday, the assailants arrived on motorbikes, surrounded him, attacked him with sharp weapons in full public display. The police were immediately alerted by the bystanders, but before they could reach the spot, the assailants had already fled the scene of crime, leaving behind Balakrishnan's body covered in a pool of blood. Police later sent the victim's body to Dindigul District Government Hospital for post-mortem, and preliminary inquiry suggests personal vendetta as the motive. Police have also said they could furnish further details only after a thorough probe in this particular case. Let me go across to my colleague Dharini joining us on the broadcast. More on this. Dharini, this is an extremely shocking news that we've got from Tamil Nadu this morning. Chilling murder in full public glare.
The deceased in this case has been identified as Balakrishnan, who is a BJP functionary from Dindigul district of Tamil Nadu. So what we are given to understand through local sources is that around 6 p.m. yesterday, when Balakrishnan was hanging out with his friends, unknown assailants who arrived in motorbikes, they attacked them with sharp weapons, and before the police could reach the spot, the assailants fled the location, leaving Balakrishnan's body in a pool of blood. So later, the Dindigul police, they sent his body to the government hospital, district government hospital, for a post-mortem examination, and now a probe is underway into this matter. But a preliminary inquiry suggests that a personal vendetta can be the motive behind this crime, because they're given to understand that Balakrishnan was involved in resolving financial disputes between local people there, and personal vendetta in connection with the financial dispute could be the reason behind this crime, is what police tell us. But still, only a thorough probe into this matter in the coming days will be able to fetch us exact details. But the visuals from the scene of crime definitely look very shocking, because in the visuals we can very clearly see Balakrishnan's body lying in a pool of blood. His head is severely injured, and it is very evident that he was brutally attacked with sharp weapons. No arrests have taken place in this case so far. Unknown assailants who arrived in motorbikes, were the ones behind this incident, and the police have launched a probe to nab the accused in the first place, and also they're trying to retrieve the CCTV footages from the surrounding area, because this incident happened in broad daylight, in full public view, in a road. So the police are trying to secure the CCTV footages from the surrounding areas, and they're trying to also analyze these footages to get an identity of the accused case.
Right. So far you're telling us, Dharini, the cops have no idea as to who could really be behind this gruesome murder that has taken place around 6 p.m. yesterday evening. Now, the question really is, Dharini, that how is something like this happening in the state of Tamil Nadu? Earlier, we have spoken about police brutality. Custodial deaths have been making headlines from the state of Tamil Nadu. And then you have this shocking incident now emerging, wherein a man who also happens to be a BJP functionary was brutally hacked to death by some unknown people who could openly carry sharp weapons with them, come on a bike and attack and kill a man like this. Absolutely shocking there.
Well, definitely, if we look at the visuals are bone-chilling, to be honest, because we could see Balakrishnan lying in a pool of blood, and his head and his scalp is completely injured, and there is blood all over that scene of crime. And as soon as this incident took place, the local police, they were alerted by the bystanders, but before the police could reach the location, the assailants fled the spot, and as I told, they arrived in motorbikes, and as soon as they arrived at the spot, they pulled out hidden weapons, and they started attacking Balakrishnan black and blue, and these were all brutal injuries. And soon after they fled the spot, and only a few minutes later the police arrived in the scene of crime, and they've sent Balakrishnan's body now to the Dindigul Government Hospital for post-mortem examination. And this is not the first time such brutal murders have come to light from Tamil Nadu. We've seen these kind of incidents coming to light very frequently from several districts in Tamil Nadu. Even today, in Tiruvallur district of Tamil Nadu, a woman a woman VCK councillor, she was hacked to death by her own husband. This is again in connection with a personal dispute between the couple has led to this particular murder. So murders seem to be on a constant rise in Tamil Nadu, and most of these crimes, they're happening in broad daylight in public roads. So let's wait and see if the police department is taking any accountability, and if they are enacting any preventive measures to make sure the number of these crimes are coming down in the state in the coming days.
Right. Dharini, requesting you to stay on with us. We have Kovai Satyam of ADMK joining us on the broadcast as well. Good morning. Thank you for speaking with us here on Times Now. Your first reaction to the shocking news we have got from Tamil Nadu, where a man was hacked to death in broad daylight. There were some people who came on a bike carrying sharp weapons and killed a man.
Shows the status of law and order in the state of Tamil Nadu under this incompetent DMK rule. Yesterday, one of our party functionary committed suicide because of the harassment from money lenders of DMK. This seems to be a day-to-day affair that it's not about political vendetta. Anybody can take law into their own hands, and the state government and the DMK government are mute spectators. That's what it's turning out to be. Nobody seems to have a sense of fear that there is a law in place, and if we do something wrong, we'll be punished. Even the police, they themselves take law into their own hands. You would have seen the custodial murder of Ajit Kumar. You would have seen this video emerging in your TV. You had put out that video of another police station harassment and torture. This has become a day-to-day norm, man. Law and order is in shambles, and M.K. Stalin has no moral or no capacity to continue as a chief minister of this state. Because there is no responsibility, no accountability, no transparency. Absolutely, there is no governance. It's zero governance in the state.
You know, Mr. Kovai Satyam, when we speak with leaders from the DMK, they are of the view that situation was worse under AIADMK's rule. At least things have now gotten better. How will you like to respond to this kind of an argument?
Ma'am, yesterday a class 12 standard student was chased and hacked to death by own classmates in Tamil Nadu. This is happening. A 30-year-old boy is kidnapped and murdered. There are incidences which happens in every government, but not to this extent and not to this level. And gundas and thugs chasing somebody on public and killing them has been a day-to-day affair across Tamil Nadu. These are all not sporadic incidents, ma'am. This is a day-to-day affair.
Yes.
Starting from the capital city till any village or any place, there is free flow of drugs. Under the influence of drugs, there are crime rates which is exuberant. And the police are kangaroo courts. Police stations are kangaroo courts. They don't register cases. Common fearing to go to the police station to seek justice.
Right.
A 5-year-old to 8-year-old are being raped, ma'am.
Right. Well, absolutely. The situation seems to be getting worse. Thank you very much, Mr. Kovai Satyan. Thank you very much for speaking with us here on Times Now and sharing with us your perspective. Thank you, Dharini, for your inputs as well on this story.